My name's Ashley, and this is Jason
I'm Andrew.
and Andrew. We are Techsperts here at your local Eagle Tech, I suppose. We're here, we're going to be talking about the basics of 3D design and how you can get started in doing it yourself. There's obviously, it's a new kind of field, a new thing that's going on, and a lot of people are really interested in it. And so we figured, well, why not kind of give people instructions so you can get started in it on their own. I assume we're better than a YouTube video, right? So where we're going to get started, a lot of people think of 3D printing, they think of like, oh, what can you do? And they think of silly things, which there are plenty of silly things out here. This is a little like alien costume hat for a cat, which you can do lots of silly things too. But we want you to be able to come out of this being able to make things that are actually functional, that work for you, like in your everyday life, because that's what you can actually do with a 3D printer. A lot of fields that are using 3D printing on the regular right now, engineers, architects, you have even chefs, manufacturers, doctors, dentists, artists are a big one obviously, and then also educators. Here are a few examples, just a custom cell phone case someone had built. Here's a 2-scale model made by an architect, and right here, this is one of my favorite things in particular. These are prosthetic arms that they make for kids, and they work simply by the way that they move the muscles in their arm. There's no motors or anything of that nature in them, but as the child grows, they can continue to reprint the parts, so it's much cheaper for their families. The child ends up having a working hand. It's just better all around for these families when they have kids that are born with these kind of disabilities. A good place most people start, there's a website, it's called Thingiverse. It is run by MakerBot, which those are the 3D printers that we sell. But it is just a place where people, they make designs and they upload them all, and it's all for free. Anyone can use it, it's open source, and there's a lot of different ways to start there. Lots of really great ideas, and things you can just print right out of the gate. To get to the thing. Up here is one thing. So say like you wanted a pencil holder. Your pencil holder in your desk like fell, it broke, it got dent, fell to pieces, what have you. And you want a new one. You happen to like this design. You could just go to this website, you click on download this thing, you download it, you upload it into the MakerBot software, which is this right here, and it's also free to use software. And you upload it onto this platform, hit print, and there you go. But say you wanted to do something a little more like custom, you like the idea, but you wanted something that fits your needs a little bit better, we're going to show you where you can start, what you can do, and how you can make things on your own, and Andrew's going to start us off.
Perfect. So one of the major companies in 3D modeling CAD software is Autodesk, and they make a huge range of software for 3D modeling, but basically their very most basic program is actually all web-based. It's called Tinkercad. You can get there at tinkercad.com. And actually one of the things I like best about it is that when you make a new account there, it gives you a great walkthrough of all the basics of using their software to do 3D modeling. But I'll just give you an idea of sort of the basics of what you see. When you create a new project in Tinkercad, you just get your work surface here, your work plane, and the entire, this entire program is based around geometric primitives. So basically all these just basic shapes are what you have to work with. So if we wanted to go ahead and recreate that pencil holder from from Thingiverse, we just have to choose carefully which primitives we want to use. So I can use a box here. Maybe I want it a little bit thinner. And you can see as I'm resizing, it gives me the actual measurements in real life. So I can make it exactly the size I want for my desk. So I've got my base there. And this lets you pan around, change your view. I can resize any of these shapes on the fly. Let's just pick something like that. And then one of the neat things here too is I can make holes. In this program, it only lets you use cylinders or boxes. But if I create this object as a hole and move it in here to my hexagon, then when I group these two and turn them into one object, you see I've ended up with a hexagon with a hole in the middle. So that can be like the base of my pencil holder now. If I select this object, and I'm just going to copy paste, and you can do this as many times as you like. Just spam a few of these out here real quick. And that other one had kind of a varied height, so we'll go ahead and replicate that look. And maybe I want one here which is a little bit bigger. So you can see the power, like super simple. In about a minute, I've completely redesigned that pencil holder that we saw. And you can add a lot more embellishment to this. You can tweak it however you like. And this file now, I can group all these. And this is ready now to be downloaded for 3D printing. And from here, I can just choose the format of my preference. And I can put that again right into the MakerBot software and hit print. And half an hour later, I can have this object, which I just designed in about a minute. A step up from this, also made by Tinkercad, is a program called Autodesk. And I've got that, 123D Design by Autodesk. It's, as you see, very similar. We've got a lot of the same tools here. I've still got all my primitives. But it also gives you some other cool options. One of them I thought was really neat is that you can sketch little lines here. I'm just going to make something up. And now, with this little shape I've made here, I have different tools that Tinkercad doesn't provide, like the ability to do revolutions here. And I can actually extrude this around 360 degrees. Maybe. If I can hit it right.
You can just type in 360.
Maybe. There we go. And hit return. And now I've got a new 3D object, which I couldn't really have made with primitives. It's possible I could have spent a lot of time putting holes in the right areas, getting this to be exactly how I wanted it, but really there's no way that I could have made this simply with a program like Tinkercad. So the step up in 123D Design gives you a little bit more power to make some different types of objects. And if we look back at what Autodesk offers, just their basic apps, which are all free, both Tinkercad and 123D Design are completely free. And they have other options like Catch, which lets you generate 3D models from photos, circuit designs. There are things like 123D Make, convert 3D models into 3D puzzles, and MakerBot also has programs that let you design keychains or necklaces or anything of that matter. Mesh Mixer and 123D Sculpt, which are more for artists. And then, of course, Tinkercad, which we've seen.